English with Deck. You know, the older I get, the wiser I get. Or so I hope, anyway. I mean, if that's not the case, then that's a bit of an issue, really, isn't it? No, I jest. I mean, I hope I'm getting wiser, but who knows? Who knows? You know, like daily, or not even daily, like regular routine activities. Well, I think with practice and with the years of experience, we get better or more efficient at them, right? You know, like, for example, with shopping. Now, shopping is an essential thing. If we don't go shopping for food, by the way, for food, shopping for food, if we don't go shopping for food, well, then we can't eat at home anyway. Now, of course, where you live and how close you are to the shops is a big factor at play here. But I would say most people go shopping one or two times a week. So some people, of course, do every day. Some people never go shopping. Really depends where you live. You know. It also depends on the country you're living in. To be honest with you, because, for example, um, in England, for where I used to live, if I went out to eat every night, apart from it definitely being very unhealthy for me, it would also cost me an arm and a leg. It would be bloody expensive. However, now, of course, there are expensive and cheap places, but generally speaking, when I came to Japan, especially living in the more urban areas, um, you could go out to eat quite a few times a week and it wouldn't break the bank. It wouldn't sort of set you back in the same way compared to going shopping. Now, again, there are many factors at play there, like I said. For example, if you have kids, even one child, it does make a difference. If you go out to eat, you've got to pay for that extra mouth to feed. You've got the extra mouth to feed. I'm sorry, you've got to pay for that extra meal. Um, so yeah, that can add up. But if it's just yourself and your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, then yeah, it's pretty reasonable on the whole, I'd say. Now, over the years, I've had various different shopping habits. Maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, maybe four times a week, even. However, I've always felt that once a week I end up buying too much, whereas if I go too regularly, I never use everything I have, if that makes sense. So, if I go once a week, let's say I go on a Monday, by Thursday, I've just been eating and eating and eating because I have the food available. Whereas if I go, I don't know, four times a week, I end up buying tons of stuff I don't need. Can anyone relate to that? Hmm. Yeah, so I think the sweet spot, for me anyway, is two times a week. Not including essentials, bread, milk, eggs. But for a general shop, for meat, for vegetables, for fruits, etc. On the whole, the bulk of it around twice a week. And since my family got bigger, I think we've really had to try and enforce that rule. Otherwise, it gets expensive and the waste increases. You know, and I think it's good to be able to use everything you have available. So let's say, in my case, we go shopping on the Tuesday. You get more discount on the points then. So we go shopping on Tuesday. We do a big shop. That's today actually. Then maybe Thursday or Friday we'll do a top up shop. So if there's anything we forgot or just, extra bits we do need. But it will never be a big one. Now, this is not including milk, eggs, and bread, like I said. They can be any day. And then that means you go through the weekend. If you end up having a barbecue or something like that, then we do, of course, get the bits for that. But if it's nothing special, nothing particular is happening, then yeah, absolutely, we would very rarely go more than twice a week these days. And it's just interesting. I was contemplating this earlier, which is more efficient. And I think definitely for me, the 2 times a week one. However, I have friends who, for example, who would rather not go 2 days a week. It just doesn't work with their schedule. It doesn't work with how they like to eat. So they go pretty much every day. They buy the daily food at the supermarket, or the next day's food at the supermarket the day before. They stock up a day in advance, essentially. And fair play to them. But I think when I've done that in the past, I have definitely ended up just overbuying. However, maybe that's just maybe I buy too much food. It's hard though. Like if you don't write a list as well, it can end up becoming a sort of what do I have? What do I don't not have? And then if, like, let's say me and my wife we go shopping without a list, oh gosh, we'll end up buying like lettuce, even though we have a full one. We'll forget we have this at home, so the fridge will have 2 of these, 4 of them. And yes, I think with the help of the list, we can usually buy sensibly or purchase sensibly. But hey, I'm interested though. How do you guys do your shopping, your food shopping? Are you a daily shopper, a weekly shopper, a bi-weekly shopper even? I mean, some people probably would if they lived in a very remote part. Yeah. Do you never go shopping really? Are you a self-sustainable human? You know? I couldn't think of the word. Are you living a self-sustainable lifestyle? So I'm really curious. How do you guys do it? So please let us know. Let everyone know in the comments. Yeah. Okay. Well, look, guys. All the best. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy your days. And bye for now.